The Intel Extreme Masters Chicago has wrapped, and I am excited to be back here at the ESL Pro League for match day number 14. There's only 2 left, and you've joined us at just about the right time for where it's going to be time for us to determine what teams are going on to the coveted city of Odense, because that is where the playoffs are being held, and this is the road to that place, and I can't wait to get these matches underway. We do have 3 sets of matches today. That would be encompassing 6 maps total. Without any further ado, let's kick this show off.
First time into this fine city. Hello, Chicago! Can he save them this time? Or he's going to find the first tackle? There's one. That might put Team Liquid to the map victory. He's up on the stand. He gets it!
The Intel Extreme Masters was quite the treat. In fact, we were there not too long ago. I think some 10 hours or so.
Yeah, we were on a plane maybe 16 hours ago.
As in we were on the plane before. Anyway, look, the point is, yes, welcome to the Intel, the Intel Esports Arena. I'm trying to bring it all together. I'm trying to make it all work out here. But yes, we have finally arrived to the road to Odense, and it's starting to get a little bit dicey. In fact, we do have quite a few matches for you guys, somewhere in which you might be surprised at some of the likes of the teams we're going to have tonight. Chad, tell them what teams we got.
Ego, we got X-Space Soldiers, we got a little bit more Wendigo for everybody there, Ninjas in Pajamas, and the Hellraisers. And also, yes, I'm aware I look ridiculous, Trace, and I was thinking if I could compliment my outfit, well, at least my face, with a cowboy hat. You're a man of the States. How does this look? And is it better with the gun?
The whole states and guns thing, like, it's kind of weird right now, but also the cowboy hat is a staple of Friday nights. So yeah, I'd say you're doing pretty good.
But it's Tuesday.
Yeah, club's going up. What can I say?
So is this the new look?
Yeah, man, rock it.
Okay.
Just be careful, trigger discipline when the pistol there. Make sure it's all coming together.
I'm gonna holster it.
Cool. Holster that, just like we're going to holster in today's schedule, because I do believe we can begin to take a look at these matches that we have in front of us. And with that, of course, Chad kind of highlighted some of the matches we're going to have. We do have the likes of Wendigo twice, Space Soldiers, Hellraisers, Ego, and those little itty-bitty ninjas in the pajamas over on the mainstream. Chad, tell us about the secondary.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at that secondary stream where we'll have Hellraisers. They'll be kicking things off. They have Hobbit instead of Bondic on that roster now. That's an exciting little storyline. Heroic, obviously, they'll be playing back-to-back games. They're going up against X-Space Soldiers as well, so they'll be flicking between the streams. But we're getting lots of the teams towards the bottom of the barrel, as we do have the likes of Ego and G2 as well to close things out for the evening. But I guess that's a story of, at least tonight, these are the teams we haven't seen a lot of throughout the season. We're going to get a taste of them here today because they have been on the secondary stream for the majority of the time. So here on the main stream, getting a few more of the names that maybe people aren't too familiar with.
Yeah, like what, Chad?
Wendigo.
What can you tell me about Wendigo?
Blocks and ships and players like that. People haven't really heard too much about these guys, especially if they've been just focused on Pro League because they haven't been on that mainstream. But I can give you some more information.
I'm always a fan of information. I'm also a fan of who's going to the Odense, the lovely little city here, just about an hour and a half, I believe would be east of Copenhagen, but I obviously made that up on the fly. Let's talk about the standings and how it's unfolded for some of these teams that you probably expect to see in a little bit higher position than they are.
I thought it was North, but I could be wrong. But regardless, the teams in green are the ones who have already qualified for the playoffs. It's Astralis, Na'Vi, and Big. We need to find 4 more names. The top 7, so 50% of the teams in Pro League, make their way to those finals in Odense, as you've mentioned. And right now, North, Mousesports, G2, Hellraisers make up that point. So wins tonight for Hellraisers are very important. FaZe Clan needs some things to go their way if they want to be able to sneak on in. And Space Soldiers, I guess they're also in that point of contention. Whereas the likes of Fnatic, Ninja Pajamas, Heroic, Ego, the teams towards the bottom of the barrel, they just want to stay out of that bottom 3. That's the places for relegation. If you do come last, which is where Ego is right now, you're straight on down to the Mountain New League. If you come in the positions of 12th and 13th, you have to play off in some form of a relegation with the teams who came towards the top of the Mountain Dew League. So basically, it sounds a little bit convoluted. It's probably easier if I explain it with maybe a graphic, maybe a pie chart, a flow chart, maybe some brackets. I had like a school teacher get up, maybe one of those canes to point at things. Is it a cane or is it a pointer? It's probably a pointer.
It's just a pointer, man.
Yeah.
Nothing really special about that, I guess.
Maybe like a laser pointer because we're in the future now.
Yeah. You can also get kicked out of school for those. So don't be taking those to class anytime soon. Now, we do have Ago and Space Soldier squaring off in our first matchup of the day. So without any further ado, I believe we can get this party going.
He's so far away. I thought he was a banana. Has to throw it now, surely. Get it in there. Something. Oh, it's actually working out. That could be enough.
That's unreal.
He has to go for a repeat here. They still can defuse it, but not if he kills absolutely everyone. That's so sick.
Try and hold position, hold station at B. Krim's great position, sat back, off angle, finds one, drops down, takes Sticko as well. Fnatic finally coming to life on the CT side as Krim sprays into the smoke, finds a fourth. He's looking for the ace, and he might find it because they're low enough on HP. Grabs the AK, needs to simmer down, sees the barrel. That's an ace. That's an ace for Krims.
When they've fallen into a little trap. And Astralis, they always have those backup plans, and they also have Device, the man that Mr. Beast, as he pops off bed, 3 kills, found 4 kills. Device wants the aim to load this. Oh, Device.
As they try and set a crossfire to the site, Duprino has to get a trade. Great shot on Acadian, and he follows it onto Volda. He's got a chance. That's what it takes for Astralis to finally get something rolling on this half. That would be remarkable in itself. Smokes off Banana. He wants to bait them down, thinking, oh, that's so smart. That is so smart.
It's gonna be 5v5 retake though.
Poison. Oh, actually gets 2.
Ooh, surely
and 3
not.
and 4. Poison. Just destroys them all, Ben.
And I mentioned Major having to use this Molotov, but Bubble will just smoke the bomb. And Poison gets all 5.
Oh,
So that's a fantastic round from him.
that's disgusting from Poison.
Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Ago and the Space Soldiers taking it to us live and uncut raw. Some even say, Chad.
Yeah.
Why is it raw?
It's like sushi.
You're not
Everybody likes to
wrong.
eat it, but it is not cooked fish.
Yeah, not really my my jam. I'm more like a put spicy mayo on everything and then save some. Obviously, make sandwiches with it later in the week. Kind of like we could look here in this week of Pro League, the last one of the season. So right now is the nitty gritty for both these teams, trying to fight for survival.
Yeah, so I think we probably should note, if we're going to maybe kick it off with Ago, we can talk about the fact that they've made a replacement, right? They obviously had the one and only, or Toad as I like to call him affectionately. He was the in-game leader. He got the boot. He's no longer on the team. They've made a new addition, and we haven't actually had the pleasure of watching too much of the Polish side in the Pro League, and they've added in Kaper, K-A-P-3-R. He's the newest addition to this team. And this
Some say he's a little spicy, Chad.
Ooh, I like what you did there, man. I like what you did there. But, you know, I think that these are the teams, especially if you compare them to Space Soldiers as well, who have shown signs of promise to be not contenders for a top spot, but teams to fight to be, you know, in contention to be considered a top 15 team. Now, with Space Soldiers, people are probably sitting there thinking, Chad, they're definitely a top 15 team. I agree. But when they have so many problems, right now they have organization issues. In the past, they've had visa problems. When you can't contend at all the tournaments because of these issues, it makes it very difficult for you to be consistent and at least grow and get better. We know what the potential of these types of teams are. Just when they're not doing well in the Pro League, when they're unable to make that top 7, when they're able to get to the playoffs, that's when it's difficult to really measure their worth, because we really look at LAN events as where we can see, I guess, the true side of these squads.
Well, the cool part about this is if we start talking about Ago, we can start to reference a little bit of the entire Polish scene as a whole, because there has been this sort of vacuum, if you will, ever since Virtus Pro has exited their prominence. We now have teams trying to vie for that #1 spot there.
So just to build on that point, Virtus Pro, for the first time since the induction of the HLTV.org rankings, which is where most people look to see where teams are ranked in the world, this is the first time since the induction of those rankings, which I believe was back in about 2015, where they're not in the top 30. That's crazy, right? VP,
crazy, yeah.
The Polish, I guess, powerhouse, the name that's been synonymous with Polish Counter-Strike for the better part of 4 to 5 years now, is no longer involved in the top 30, which means, you know, the likes of Ago, they could be a contender. We have Kingwin, which is Taz's team, Taz's Polish project. That's in a similar place, right? The Polish scene is in a similar place as what I think the French scene is right now. And they don't really have a top contender, at least a team who's vying for a top 15 position on a consistent basis.
It's more about being top 1 within your country,
Exactly,
your region,
right?
actually. And, you know, we actually saw glimpses of the French scene and what they have to offer coming up. whereas the other sides are starting to back away, starting to be more roster mania going on there. But that's the French scene. We're talking about the polls. And in fact, while we talk about the polls, we can take a look at their matchups thus far in this ESL Pro League. As we go into match day number 14, they will be the first matchup. And perhaps we could take a look at what their previous 4 have been.
Yes, indeed. So you can see here that they actually split series with Na'Vi, which is impressive. The same with Mouse Sports. They split series with Fnatic. And then if you look at for Hellraisers as well, they pushed in the distance on both maps and were also able to trade out. And that's not terrible by any means. They're big names, especially with what we just saw Fnatic do. They've obviously had some roster changes. Mouse Sports have just got back towards the top 5 teams in the world after the most recent event. So these are big names to be splitting series with, but they still find themselves, Trace, last in the Pro League. That's, you know, crazy that these guys are still one of the teams who are not getting anything done. It just feels like, look, Pro League is always going to be highly contended, right? It's always going to have the biggest names. But for these guys to split games and still not find themselves in a position where they're able to qualify, that's pretty insane right there. And right now, these last few matches that we're going to have for them over today and tomorrow is purely trying to get themselves out of that hole. You don't want to be in last place. You do not want to be in last place because you get automatically relegated. And that's the main point. The main storyline for these guys right now is not coming last. Nobody wants to be a loser. Buy a diffuser.
Yep, buy a diffuser. Don't want to be left out in the cold there with that one. But, I mean, at least with their matchups, it's been pretty hellacious. I wouldn't say that they made a fantastic case for being one of the top contenders in the world, but they are definitely on their way to being the best one, if not the best team already in Poland.
It's hard when you are changing a roster, right? You're making player changes throughout a season. You know, you're going to have sporadic results. You see that with Fnatic. They've made a roster change. Obviously, Brolin coming in has been a really good sign for them, but this can be said for a lot of teams. And then I was talking about Space Soldiers and how they're changing organization. To have that stress while trying to focus on playing Counter-Strike at its top level, these are the things which nobody wants to have to deal with. But this is just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, right? These guys have had to deal with a lot of visa issues. Obviously, we had Engine unable to get his in time for the major. They had to play with their coach Hardstyle. Earlier in the year, they were unable to get visas to go to different events. And you see that. And this is just a really unfortunate situation to find yourself in when you are a team who has so much skill. We talk about it every time we're on the desk with Space Soldiers. We talk about the Zentaras of the world. We talk about the Calyx. You know, Madra is an in-game leader. Fantastic attitude. And then you've got the likes of Paz stepping up with sporadic decent performances from time to time. And sure, Engine is that hardcore support player, and there is always a lot of discussion about him being replaced in this team. But we don't know the inner workings, and so far things, you know, they're not going terribly. I just think they need to get to more events so we can see the true potential of this squad after they get to go through one of those circuits, one of those runs that the other top teams get to, where they go to back-to-back events. They really get a chance to grind and find their identity. Space Soldiers have had a lot of dramas since not their inception, but just I guess it's just the way it is with these guys because of those visa issues, because, you know, the major situation. It's not great.
It's not great, but that hair on the end is fantastic. Of course, this is Sadakist and Henry Greer, who we brought in here to kind of talk about these matches as they're happening. I don't really know what it is, but
Matt looks like one of the Weasleys when they're a bit older from Harry Potter.
Ah, the Ron crew. His name is Ron.
Yeah,
cool.
What about Henry? Would that make him like a Gryffindor or something?
A Gryffindor.
A Gryffindor. Is that the best you can do?
Never really watched
Slytherin.
Henry's more of a Ravenclaw.
Okay.
You're more of a Hufflepuff, I would say.
Yeah, you're definitely a Hufflepuff.
Yeah. I have to look that up because I honestly have no idea. But what I do know is we're going to be going to Train for our first map of the night.
Okay.
And, of course, we start talking about these two teams on Train. Well, who is the heavy hitter out of these two?
It's a good question. Very good question.
Oh, dear. I think that it has to be Space Soldiers, right?
Definitely.
You have to look at this and you have to think of Space Soldiers as the better
But the thing
team.
is, AGO have actually had pretty decent results in this particular league. You don't really consider them to be capable of picking up many names here. They've actually stolen away a lot of victories here in Pro League so far.
Still last.
Still, but they are taking down the odd win here and there. So they're fighting into relegation. They're going to have some fire in their belly in their respect. You can see Space Soldiers, how they've been getting on. Has this been any good?
No, we'll see them going like down 2-0 to a team like North, who's, you know, recently had that, well, I guess we can stop recently saying the roster change stuff, but it's a newer face North. The Hellraisers won as well, whereas they are picking up against wins. They should, you know, you should be getting the 2-0 against a team like Windigo. Whereas Big, on the other hand, you'd be pretty happy to split the series. These are all teams here who are on the similar cusp. You know, you'd put North, you'd put Big, you'd put Hellraisers, all with Space Soldiers in a similar basket, and you say these guys are all potentially teams who can break into the top 10 or be consistent teams to stand within the top 10, but are realistically maybe just outside of that. I know that people will listen to that and go, Chad, some of these teams have to be in the top 10. Sure, you're right, but a lot of them find them, you know, I think from team 7 onwards, you find yourself with a lot of names that are definitely in a similar boat. And that's one of the hardest things, which is...
Once you get past the top 10, the lines get very blurred quite quickly. Like LDLC just had one tournament recently where they're like 12 now. They're straight in there.
It's
so
crazy.
It's difficult to really work out how to quantify that.
Well, we know who's the best.
Yes.
Astralis.
Sure.
Then there's the rest.
Uncontested best. Australis always topping the charts there. Matt, are you okay, man?
No.
I see a lot going on that end of the table. I'm just real curious.
There's a lot going on.
How was
your
your juice?
Trace. Sorry?
How was your juice?
Which? The Joe?
Yeah.
Volda bought it for me. It was Joe and the juice.
It was a strawberry flavored one, huh?
It was Power Shake.
What does that mean?
To give me power.
Oh, yeah. The shakes there aren't bad. I'll have to give it that. Joe and the Juice, shout out to you wherever you are.
Avocado sandwiches are even better.
Make sure keep it going here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, say to Kiss and Henry G.
Henry, do you have a juice?
I had no juice. They didn't take cards, so just had to.
I balled the
I
body
used tap. It worked. But for some reason, why is it always the card machine down at the same exact place?
It's the same place. It's
And
not that hard.
I don't think it is. I think the tap works every time. I think they just need to clean it in the inside, and it'll probably start reading chips again.
Or they can't be bothered with making us a sandwich after a 15-hour travel day. But I did say we were going to train, so I'm going to have to get some predictions from you, Chad. I know you got a lot of knowledge up in that big head of yours. So.
I think Space Soldiers have to just be the team I'm going to hedge with here. They have the better individual players, and I think that they are just overall a better team than AGO, unfortunately.
Anything you want to add to that, Henry? Or
I echo his sentiments. That's
nice.
it.
That's like pleading the fifth. Very well done. Very well played. Either way, yes, let's get into this game. Well,
you can say it. You want to say
you
the
look
same
a little
thing?
tired down there, so it's
I think we're all... No,
we're saving you for the hype moments, Matt.
Yeah.
We need you swinging and gunning here on train.
Burning the fumes, boys.
Burn the fumes.
Smell of an oily rag will keep me running. Let's go.
Okay, then. Well, it is going to be Train. It is going to be AGO versus Space Soldiers here. Obviously, the ex-Space Soldiers are no longer part of the organization. They are...
Correct. Why
on
are we
the
using their
market,
logo?
imagine?
Isn't that trademark issues? Isn't there copyright infringement there?
I have no idea. But they're called ex-Space Soldiers for now.
I have no idea.
But we'll see how that develops. There's been rumors about them being spoke to SK Gaming and stuff like that. Like the big orgs are interested in them, but
SK is desperate to get back in the scene.
Yeah.
The good news is they've got a little bit extra cash to do it with.
That's true.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. As we're getting ready to start here on trading, see the win-loss is looking slightly better for Space Soldiers as they currently sit 9th and it's AGO who are sat dead last. Not ideal, but don't let that kind of sway you too much. They are capable of taking out some big names. They took a map off Na'Vi, they took one off Fnatic, just unable to find consistent results. I think that's been the main problem for them. As we just get ready here on Train. We're just going to be flying through the map. Obviously, a big CT advantage in this one. Saw it plenty of times last week. Unfortunately, neither of these teams were at Chicago, but we're hoping to see what they can deliver here in the first map of the day. Space Soldiers looking like they'll start on the CT side here. The match is live. The players are in spawn. We're off to the races. As
I like races.
Well, this is going to be a good one.
Car races. Let's just clarify that.
Yes. Let's see whether we can get a nice clean round to kick things off. It will be AGO with the PT50, one smoke, flashbang, a decoy as well. That's in the hands of Spiro. They have Grubby and Furlan trying to make things happen towards the main entrance here, but it's going to be Engine who's defending the Ivy position. And we are off. Paz and Calyx go to town. Looking very good for Space Soldiers so far. As Caper will hold on. He's got the Glock and some damage done, but he's got to do a lot more than that. And Major will just shut him down. It's going to be a quick round for Space Soldiers there. The favourites winning the pistol.
The favourites. All right. Ego. Lego my ego. The waffle, you know.
You asked him just
I don't understand how everyone doesn't know the ego. But that said, it is 1-0 for the Space Soldiers. And we now keep them rolling as we, on the new patch, see all rifles except for one SMG. So they're actually going quite heavy for a purchase in round number 2.
Yeah, that's what I like to see, to be honest. You're preparing for the AKs. We'll see whether this will be enough, though, as AGO do have a couple of upgraded pistols here. It's a Deagle for Caper. He'll be holding up for the initial kill here. If they get it, they'll try and pounce towards inside. You see the bombs setting up towards the lower ramp. So if they can get a pick at Ivy, that will be their cue. Wait for a rotation and try and get the bomb planted.
The one on Zonteras. So that works out well. That's a good start for the boys, the Space Soldiers. Fear hangs out toward the top side of the brown holes as well. Major waiting to see if anyone will push down at the ramp. They will, I guarantee it, Henry. Groovy's going to get groovy, and Furland's going to play online. Not on LAN. Hey, he can be on that team. We talked about it. We got Broland, Furland, Waylander.
Waylander as well. Haven't seen him for a while. That team's still going?
I don't know.
Flip side still a
No,
thing?
they're not.
Oh, the bomb's getting planted. I say that, maybe not. It's going to be Groovy, who can't successfully find the plant, but if Spiro can get a kill with the MP9, that'll be some extra cash, I guess. But they're going to be buying up next round either way. This just won't find much. But the fact he's in CD spawn, he probably has a kill. Does he want to go towards the upper ramp? Doesn't look like it. Let's just go for that straight up kill. Didn't even want to see what else was available. And he'll be taken down in due course. But at this point, will he get another? Gets the headshot. It takes Major down to 10 HP. But that'll be it. 2-0. They get a couple of kills, which is fine. And they're going to have AKs now. So maybe even an AWP with Spiro's 5k.
Maybe, it's possible. That's something to consider. They definitely played the long game on this one.
There it is.
And it is going to be the op route. You're right. AK-47s and an op. Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. Calyx has the AUG as well, by the way.
He does. We haven't casted him on this new patch yet, so it'll be interesting to see whether he can still look as good. He always is a big part of the conversation on the analyst desk. It's him and Zantares everyone wants to talk about, and everyone wants to avoid perhaps on the server as well, as Furlan will be taken down quite low on HP. I think Paz has spotted him as well. That's going to be Furlan stuck in position and taken down with the utility. Nice work from Space Soldiers so far. Looking quite efficient, working well, not overextending, but there's a frag for Groovy. There's no response just yet. The CTs will still have an advantage with his low HP, and maybe even more so now as Fur will go down. What did we agree on? Was it PHR? Fur. And with round 3 being here, it's still the advantage. Space Soldiers are 4 up, 3-4 a go.
Engine's going to work back in from Ivy, hold toward the green, and Caper's going to try and work around that, but unfortunately... Oh, okay, I take it back. I thought it looked like Engine had turned around on the radar. He did not, so that was an easy free kill for Caper. Good timing. That's going to now hold off 3 inside of the yard as both his teammates get in position at Pop Dog and A main, respectively, to the bomb being at A main. Ruby's got the bomb, however. He's tagged at 38, so they're going to have to play protect the bomb carrier, protect the VIP, bring back AS Oil Rig. Caper's having a hell of a round, isn't he?
He is. That's 3 kills for him, but Major at least finds the bomb up as he rotates back from the connect. He throws a decoy in that position. That's actually quite smart considering they've smoked him out. That could be a difference maker here. They're going to assume it's clear, but maybe not. Spiro watching the backtracks, 1 step ahead. He will find the round. It's going to be 2-1 as Space Soldiers give it up. And after losing 2 players before, they've got no cash to reinvest. As we see Caper, you're absolutely right, having one hell of a round there. He will find all the kills required, and it will Spiro to close things out. That AWP purchase proved to be successful. And will this force from Space Soldiers yield such luck? We'll have a look. It's round 4. They've got Scouts, Deagles, an MP9, an M4 for Calyx, and Major's just on that 5-7. So you'd assume they're going to have to do something maybe a little bit more assertive than sitting back in the default, as Engine will be taken down with the AWP. It's going to try and set up the Zantares, though, so not all is lost just yet. They're presumably going to check those close, and indeed they will. That's going to be Zantares removed from the equation. Even if he got 1, it wouldn't have made much of a difference. Looks like AGO have this one under control. They'll probably fall back towards inside or something like that. So we'll see. They've still got plenty of time here with 1 minute 15 on the clock. They're actually going to stay grouped up at Ivy. 4 players heading out of that position, and that's why Calyx is waiting with the M4.
The radiation charts off the scale. The meter clicks. Calyx will too, hopefully with the M4, because they're all coming in from Ivy, waiting, trying to hold. Don't push yet. He's aware of the fact that they have sandwich. Now he's got problems. Still with good movement. Doesn't work around the bomb train, but good shot from Spiro means he's gone without even getting a kill. That's a bit surprising. And AGO are going to pull this back to 2-2.
They certainly are. Not really much Major can do about this. This force buy was not successful. Didn't find a single kill. Bomb down. And there'll be an eco next round for the Turkish squad. AG, don't really need to hunt this either, considering they know it's just pistols, SMGs. They've got more to lose with the AKs there and, of course, the AWP, which now has armor. This is going to be a great round in terms of finances for AGO. They're going to get $3,500 per player. They just wait for the confirmation. There it is. And Major will save his armor, 5-7, and a smoke. They're going to be full eco this round anyway, so might as well just keep it and see what he can do. He's on 5 kills, 1 death so far as he survives the previous round. It will be AGO though. Huge upper hand here. Another chance to farm even more money. Then keep 5 players alive. They're going to be very established for this first half and not really much purchase at all by Space Soldiers. Not a single dollar invested, I don't think. So just going to be holding up with the 5-7 and seeing what they can do.
Sparrow, he'll hold out on the AWP yet again as they get aggressive with pistols at the CT side. Looking the wrong direction when they do arrive means that he'll go down now to 51 HP. And the AK has to swap out as Furlan comes in to hold the angle instead. Furlan. And the way in, Molotov to Pop Dog, smoke to extinguish. They now know Major's there. That's confirmation of it. So a nade further still that blows out our eardrums as it blows out the window that does damage onto Major. Furlan still outside of the yard. They want this outer sight, but seems like the push and finally the stack is going to make some move because they realize that, and they're already going around from Brown Halls toward bathrooms. That's where Fur was. That's pretty good. He was just waiting the whole time.
He was. M4A4 in hand, making sure he stays alive here as well. Bit of follow-up damage with the HE. Bomb planted. Like we said, if AGO get the clean sweep here, they're going to have so much cash available to them. Another 3,500 will be coming in their accounts next round as the loss bonus builds up for Space Soldiers. They're going to find themselves in a bit of a compromised position, but they've got to buy next round. We'll probably see the AWP come out for them. Spirit looks way too comfortable with the weapon considering he's had no sniper presence up against him. There's a few players that can pick it up on the Space Soldier side. Major and Paz will usually be the main culprits. We'll see. The thing is they can't actually afford one. Even with the loss bonus at the stage it's at, they had to find at least another kill perhaps, so they'll be stuck with the actual rifles here. No snipers to be brought to the party. Maybe a scout if they're really desperate for one. Not going to be the case. 2 Augs though. You'd think Train actually is a perfect map for that particular weapon. Lots of long-range encounters and tiny gaps to pick off the heads, especially if rotating towards the inside bomb side perhaps. That would be really cool. No Kriegs on the T side, but there is that AWP. Spiro looks to open things up here. Not going to find anything though.
They're taking out the rat side, strong side.
Strong side.
Remember the Titans? Or was that any given Sunday?
I don't know. I haven't seen either.
Rat side, strong side. Major's going to get up on top of the train. He's got the AUG in hand. That nade timing could be good. Could do some damage. Not quite that much damage. Caper's taken down to 89. Flash high in the sky for the yard, but it's inner that seems to be the threat. Major going to use the scope on the AUG. We've seen some players, notably at Liege, elect not to use it, whereas Kerrigan uses it quite consistently. So it gets one. Calyx follows it up to find Furlan. He stays in the round as well, as Groovy now has one teammate to work with, but not inside the site directly. Spiro's just getting to the bottom of the ramp. Now, they catch out to Terrace. He was expecting higher. Upper indeed, as Calyx gets the kill back. That should secure the round. 1 on 3. We'll see if Groovy's got anything up his sleeve as a flash goes out toward the rail. And he desperately wants position. Can't really isolate. He's tagged down to 6.
Oh, he's still got a fighting chance here, though.
He does now.
Yeah, he's tagged up Engine as well here. HP is not a massive factor, but it's the headshot from Engine that will end it, as he will have the defuse as well by the looks of things. It's going to be a little bit touch and go, but fine in the end. So there we have it. It will be Space Soldiers to pick up the lead at this point. Well, they'll tie things up, I should say, as it goes 3-3. They'll win this particular round. But remember, it comes down to a 1 versus 1 in the end. He recovers the AWP, sure, but Asia have got so much money here. The reset potential for Space Soldiers is just off the charts right now. With all the reinvestment required, they're all going to be fully invested here. I'm surprised they don't take a tactical timeout just to maybe work things out. As we'll see the final bit of cash spent. Major's the only remaining player with any sort of money here. He got dropped to FAMAS. And to go with it, the kits, smokes, incendiaries, and they'll go out together. This is going to be AGO. Looking for a quick reply here. Doesn't look like it's going too well so far. It's going to be Xantaras with the AWP lighting up AGO. Paz and Calix will do what they can to support the sniper, but he's gone down to the flames of Spiro, who's now left in a 4 versus 1. It's going to be Space Soldiers avoiding that reset in quite a dramatic style as well, 4 players surviving. That's got to happen first. They need to make sure they can take down Spiro cleanly.
Clean as a whistle, and they do. Paz gets him. In fact, they didn't even take any damage from him. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. So X takes on Ego, and it's 4-3 in favor of X.
X Space Soldiers, he means.
Just X. We've all got one.
And
Matt brings up a good point.
what?
X gonna give it to you.
They have been for a couple of rounds. They actually haven't looked as strong as I thought, though. Grenades being deployed towards main entrance. We'll see whether Spiro can avoid the grenades. He actually has done so far. The AWP in the hands of himself. It's going to be Groovy just beneath him as well. They've both taken damage at the start. But a much slower default round here as AGO will fall back. They've detected a utility player from the CTs. This could allow it to happen. There's a smoke down. Incendiary to follow it up as well, designed to flush those guys out. They fall back so they don't take any damage. And unfortunately, they walk into an HE grenade towards Ivy. That's going to be Caper and Furlan taking the majority of the damage as they commit towards the backtrack. So Ender's got such a great spot. His teammates taking the aggro away. That's Antares. Actually, is that an incendiary towards his own teammates' feet? He can't swing around and get the kill anymore, but it doesn't seem to matter. Mage is there with the AUG, getting it done as Engine does eventually get stuck in.
Groovy waiting for the smoke to dissolve. It'll do so now. Ish. I'm sure of it. As PHR takes down Paz. Watch for Zantaras. Ooh, la 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 la. Timing is way off as he looks away. At the exact time in which they cross back over to a main, Calix will still find Groovy out in front of the E-box, spotted at the edge of the smoke. And Spiro is just leaving spawn. He's actually going back through spawn.
Yeah.
To be fair.
It's still not looking good. Whatever way you look at it, because he's still in the 4 versus 1. He's got 1 flashbang and the bomb on his back, to be fair, but with the AWP, might as well save up. He's only got 10 seconds remaining. At the 5-second mark, it looks like he'll be fine. He will save the weapon, but the round is definitely slipped by. Space Soldiers there picking up their 5th, and AGO pretty much on an eco here, unless they wanted to go for a partial buy around the orb. I don't think a full commitment is required. Maybe P250, Kevlar. CZ is fine as well. As you can see, they've purchased that. And we're off, round number 9. Got a couple of smokes. I'd assume they'll just try and bait in the orb. Maybe smoke a couple of times outside, get a plant down, leave the orb in main entrance and see whether they can find the kills on the retake.
Zantaras. Already to the corner, which means he can control the angle at inner. Gets dinked up through the edge of the box. Was that a dink? I thought I heard a dink noise. Nonetheless, hits the shot. He'll get away. Can't really afford to stay super aggressive without the HP to do so. So he'll go back deep in the site, try and find an angle on entry to counter them off so that they can't get a bomb plant. That seems to be the objective for AGO. B-I-A-G-O. B-I. Viago was his name.
I've got no reply.
Yeah.
It's good. It seems to be. We'll just leave it there.
Oh, McDonald had a farm. Boosting Spiro high. Such an uncommon occurrence that they find a kill from that.
There'll be no one there to receive it. Spiro trying to get off quietly here. Incendiary's deployed. They've already lost that first pick. Remember, this isn't the force buy. It was a partial investment based on the fact they had an AWP from the previous round. Or the AG was pretty much perfectly timed. You can see, even with armor, Spiro takes a ton of damage there. As Zantara seems incredibly comfortable with the prospect of them pushing inside. He'll take down the AWP as they'll try and recover it. They'll get 1 kill in return. Maybe another one here. Groovy's actually lighting them up with the AWP. He's taken down in the end, but still 2 kills in total. It's going to be 6-3 in favor of the Space Soldiers. They were the favorites going into this one, but It's the CT side of the map. Anything can and will change as money becomes available once again. I think Spiro might only have the CZ. Remember, he got no money from saving that AWP. He just gets the upgraded weapon and gets to take that to the next round. So his 4 teammates have AKs. They'll be stuck on the pistol. Obviously, a huge advantage for Space Soldiers here.
Mully. Taking out the corner. Major down below with the AUG. He'll back away. Smoke going to be deployed. That'll hold everyone at position for now, at least. At least.
Yeah.
At most, it somehow turns into an atomic bomb and kills everyone. But
Well,
I think we're going to go with the least here.
I guess that could be the most. But
You got one better? Turns into like a black hole, consumes us all, including us in the real world outside of the game.
that would be pretty extreme. But it looks like it's just going to be an usual exchange of guns with the AUG, as there will be 3 kills picked up. Space Soldiers will claim almost all of them here. I thought a kill for Spiro was just about to come through. No, still might. There it is. Takes down Zontaras in the end. He does buy a little bit of time to help him picking up the AWP at least, but he still runs through the flames and gets it. It's down to 38. So 4 on 2. Caper and Spiro. 40 seconds on the clock. They do not have the bomb. Caper and Spiro still holding up. And it looks like they'll just be saving here. They've only got 15 seconds remaining. As we'll see whether this is going to be worthwhile. So remember, they get no cash again. So that's going to be Caper 350, Spiro 500. Definitely not getting any money now. And the teammates will start getting reasonable loss bonus. So there might be enough to get Galil's armor. I think that's probably worthwhile. Maybe a couple of SMGs in there. So there is something. It was worth saving that up at least. I think they'll almost certainly buy into this. 0-8 for Furlan. As a Deagle armor comes out. No Galils. Surprised by that.
Yeah, but, I mean, at this point, you need some firepower to go along with it, right? You need something to complement the AK. The Op's not really getting any picks for you. Space Soldiers are starting to run away with this. As we mentioned at the start of the night, by the way, 3 teams locked in.
Yep.
And there's 4 more that will have a chance to do so between tonight and tomorrow. That's really it. That's all that's left. NIP, big night for them. Tomorrow we have North. No, I was taking Astralis games tomorrow. We got 2 more Astralis games tomorrow.
We will cast 2 of the maps in this broadcast.
Right.
But there's loads of games happening at once.
That's right. That's right. FaZe is a big one tomorrow. That's right. Everyone plays at the same time tomorrow because we've got that whole Judgment Day.
Exactly. So there'll be lots of, I don't know which ones we're doing, but there'll be lots of action. Furlan will get tagged up in the process. Oh my goodness, so close. There it is. Makes up for it on the reposition. It will be passed now with the AK-47. Looks like he might be in a bit of trouble here. Absolutely, it's going to be Grubby who takes down Paz, but here we go then. Another advantage for AGO. They haven't posted around in a while, so it's up to Major now, who holds towards heaven. This isn't a bad position, all things considered. They need to make a mistake first, though.
Major still waiting it out. Playing the position he's in control, can certainly see toward, default. Exactly that. And Fair walks back into it. I thought it was interesting. He was still trying to work down, but Groovy's going to get the shot through the wall. That's fine. He wanted to keep himself alive up there, so he threw the Molotov down to hold off the ladder, but great shot, Groovy. And it's now finally a 4th round for AGO. Team with a lot of experience throughout the years. A couple major appearances here and there for a few of their players.
Yes, Groovy, Furlan, Spiro. It's the other 2. We've seen a bit of PHR, or Fur, for a while now, like about a year. Caper, I think he must be a new, or relatively new pickup for them, so I don't recognize that name. But either way, he seems to be doing pretty well, fragging quite well, and we'll see whether round 12 will be more forgiving. As now, no AWP available for Space Soldiers. Their money's starting to run low again. It's such a back and forth game so far. With Fur picking up the first kill as Zontares. Great scout to pick up. As I leave the bomb in T-spawn, they won't be committing off the back of this straight away. They just want to hold up and see whether there's any sort of CT reaction here.
Well, that's been the general course of call for quite a few of these rounds, unfortunately. The fact of the matter is, though, where they finally have an advantage to do it, perhaps they will get someone who gets a little bit more aggressive. As Furlan, dinked up, down to 14, is trying to get in this site. He'll tag up Engine as a response. Molotov out on top of the train, and Furlan swings around it, boost up on top of the train itself, however. And Calyx and Paz go to work to take down the bomb.
Well, it's a great effort, but still a 2-on-2, and they've actually got a bit of a disadvantage with the positioning, but not for long. Calyx does put one back. Spiro with the AWP. HP not really a factor anymore, but can he find this first obstacle? The Engine, but well positioned. Bit of a off angle there, not tucked in the corner. Will take him down. It's round 13, and money's actually broken on the T side here, so we will see them presumably eco this and maybe save up for one of the latter rounds. And the timeout comes in. I'm not sure what there is to discuss. I think they'll be relatively okay with 4 rounds and still a few to go. Maybe pick one more up. Best chance to do that, get a nice full buy instead of just forcing out pistols and SMGs. So 8-4 CT side. If they can get double digits, that'll be great. But at the same token, if AJ can get 5 or 6, that would be good, all things considered.
All things considered. Yeah, pistols have a certain different effects. Best of ones all night. That's how they count, but it's double headers. It's a big night for AGO if they want to get out of that auto-relegatory position. Furlan trying desperate with the Deagle to fire toward the B site. No one peeking out or rearing their ugly head, as you would say, Henry.
Yes. This is the eco. And 3 players towards Ivy. Should meet their maker in the form of Engine here. Pretty sure they'll pick up a single kill. It's not looking likely for the Space Soldiers, as Fur will be taken down as well. Clean sweep. Confident stuff. Round 13 is absolutely in favor of Space Soldiers there. There's another buy available for AGO. I think I saw an orb dropped, so that'll be done by Caper towards Spiro, I believe. He'll pick up the AWP as he passes by. And Furlan, only with the P250, Caper with no flashes, really. He's just got one bit of utility. That's a single flashbang, nothing else. 211 as well.
Furlan, oh, just destroyed by Zontaras. That was at the corner. It was Groovy, excuse me. I thought it was Furlan because he was rotating back in that direction. I thought he was further up than that, but Furlan will go up to get the AK from Groovy's corpse. Dearly departed, we are gathered here to rejoice. It's the gathering of your AK.
Yeah.
Not so worried about you. Sperro. He'll start to work once again toward the A site, but they're so passive. Over and over, just so passive, buddy. They've yet to push in at all through that A main position with, in my opinion, convincing smokes or crosses, because the only time they did was the one round that they were on pistols. And they had the confidence to do so. Every time they want to take a fight toward E-Box, they get shut down. Every time they try and get smokes out toward the bomb train, they get cut off by Space Soldier's position. So certainly has got a rather indomitable performance from the CTs. But we go back over toward Brown Halls. And they're going to go quickly, 29 seconds. But, ooh, okay. The little bit of utility they used, it actually worked. I was going to say there was 3 players here. They sold it. Just really based on time.
Yeah, they all think it's outside right now. And as they rotate back in, that's going to be Space Soldiers losing the player. Spiro smacks down Major, and it's still a 4 versus 3. The retake will begin, but they're still losing players here. Luckily, they take down Spiro eventually. Furlan's going to try and pick up the AWP and bring this round in their favor. Well, that's a nice shot. Fur positioned himself well. Zontaras didn't see it coming, and it looks like AGO have done enough here. This was an absolute round where they looked like they were out of it, didn't have much to say, but it's the AWP of Spiro making his way in, the fake outside, and it all goes very well for them. Furlan and PHR managed to stay alive there and fend off the Space Soldiers. It's going to be the last round of the first half. There is money there for a pretty decent buy overall from Space Soldiers. I don't think they'll get the AWP out unless Engine wants to drop one, which he does not apparently. That's the final round here. Groovy just with the CZ. Pretty sure they could have dropped him something. Caper's still got 1,200 and bought all his grenades.
Around the corner as Furlan tries to get shots but doesn't quite find the success he was looking for. Paz, meanwhile, ooh-wee. Timing. Go on the tick or on the talk. Is he Shroud or is he the Doc?
That's now you're onto something. And these are the questions we need to ask.
Might be a ninja. Zantares, oh, damage gone. That's actually pretty significant because now they can try to open up for the bomb. Retake already in effect, however, and successful thus far. 2 AKs to work with on the T side, just the CZ for Groovy, but it is looking okay for Space Soldiers given they found those picks so early. PHR is going to stay on top of the bomb. Wants to try and babysit, as you would do in this situation, but they're going to go, they have to. Shooting gallery, fires through all 3. Move the goalposts as he couldn't quite land the shot. PHR, though, they now know where he is. Has to be perfect and can't be. Major's going to get him down. And unfortunately, Mr. Cape Breton couldn't peek out in time either. Diffuse comes through, and we go 10-5 in favor of X.
Well, it will be the Turkish squad picking up 10 rounds. AGO will only have 5, but remember, it's them on the T side. It's not the end of the world, it's certainly not ideal, but it's recoverable. The way I've seen things go down so far, it looks like they're quite evenly matched in this particular map, so it'll probably be right down to the wire, I would imagine. As we'll see the highlight reel here. But holding them off, Major with the AUG spray down. We saw a lot of AUG action here on the CT side. Another team, it seems, who are using their spare time. They're not as many events as the other top teams, so they might have more practice to actually use their not new weapons, but recently patched scoped rifles. With the scoreboard, it will be Groovy with just the double digits there on AGO. I'm sure there's a few on Space Soldiers indeed. 4 of them breaking double digits. Going to be Major with 15 at the very top, but Calyx with the most ADR.
Yeah, that's the big one, or at least we say it is. Some of that can be, I think, what's the way of putting it? Contaminated by anti-ecos.
Yeah.
That's the way I should put it. Contaminated by those situations where in which you're going against lesser weapons and you're able to just farm up some stats. But ADR seems to, as it's based on average, be the way to go. Now, it will be a pistol push toward B. And Space Soldiers will try and find the site.
They will. It's an important pistol here, especially for AGO. Give this one up. They could have an issue. Well, they're going for a boost here. They're going for a double boost with pistols. This is quite cool. He said you don't see many kills from this position, but if that did work out, that'd be kind of fun. But just Caper looking to find at least 1 kill. The flashbang, though, so effective. Pushes them off the position as they do get towards the bomb site now. It will be the rotation with the CTs as you can see Space Soldiers doing a great job just pushing down and making sure this is just so overwhelming as Calyx and Paz chime in to find the first couple of frags.
Spiro going to push back up. Ooh, style when he gets there. Looking for another one, perhaps. Sphere going to go follow the Paz, though. He's got problems because he's now pinched. He's in the middle of an attack, but Spiro, what? That's aggressive. Didn't have to go that far with a knife. I suppose he didn't want to reload, so why not? Give it a go. And it's now 11-5.
11-5. And 3 scouts on the CT side. They're going for this. We'll see if this is going to be a successful campaign. MP9 for Grubby and Caper with the CZ. Got 2 smokes, HEs available. This could actually be quite dangerous, as Space Soldiers will have to use these 3 MAC-10s they have. A couple of rifles. Zantara is with one of them. He's already been taken down to 70 as they commit towards Ivy, trying to bait out the grenades here. They're actually going to do so, but not before taking a lot of damage from them first. Calyx will deal out equal damage. As the smoke's going down, that's going to be their commitment here. There's still a fighting chance for the CTs, especially we're going to be finding these sort of kills. The scout can't connect though, but still a 3-on-3. Being such a nuisance for MB9, but Major finally takes him down.
So Fair now waiting as well with the scouts to try to understand. Try to understand, Hank. He's a magic man. It's a song by heart. You probably don't know it.
No.
All right, it's fine. I have noticed you've been unbuttoning your shirts.
It's very warm in here, and I'm very tired, so I'm trying to cool down. Taking my shoes off, away from my shirt.
When do the pants come off? That's all I care about.
Well, that might have to happen. Like, the hotter you get, the more tired you are, and I really can't have that right now. So I'm trying to maintain body temperature.
I understand. Caper, he certainly doesn't care about that, as he wants to try and get back inside of the site. Look at PHR. This could be massive, because no one thinks he's there. Oh my, that's quite a shot for a CZ at that range. Denies the bomb for a momentary chance in which it will be capitalized upon, but it's not into the final 10 seconds when things get awkward. In fact, it was time enough for the MAC-10 to immediately strike, not worry about the bomb, and therefore it's now 12-5.
12-5, full eco as well. Edge really need that 1v1 to go in their favor. Decent attempt, but ultimately means nothing for them with Space Soldiers with now the guaranteed 3-0 pretty much. There'll be some PT-50s and Deagles out, but I mean, that's about as exciting as it gets. They're doing a 5-man stack towards outside, and it looks like inside presence from Space Soldiers will be on the table, because right now, your players heading towards the upper ramp. As it's mowing them all down towards outside. That's 3 kills in favor of Space Soldiers, with PHR and Spiro pulling one back, but bombs to be planted, and that will be round.
So, with the bomb planted yet again, and just a MAC-10, I think it's safe to say that it'll be Mac Daddy Christmas before they win that round, Hank.
Mac Daddy Christmas.
Look, I was trying to get a Christmas joke. We're getting close, all right?
Well, where's the joke, though?
It wasn't great. I'm just saying I tried.
You said something, I'll give you that, in a humorous way.
I said the word Christmas in there, so therefore it counts. It is a validated effort.
Mac Daddy Christmas. Anyway, we are going to have the first gun round here. 2 players of our helmets, I should say. And let's talk a bit slower today. I feel like I'm making too many mistakes. No helmets on Fer and Spiro, meaning that MAC-10 becomes a lot more powerful, and we can see the CT's actually playing in front of the smokes here against potential execution. But lose this round, AGO pretty much done for. There's not really much they can do to defend. You can see they have got a mixture of utility, and Spiro on the AWP. He's currently positioned towards a connector, as you can see. Takes down Zantares. Smokes down now, though. Looks like the CTs might have done enough here, but great shots coming in from Engine. Spiro's in no man's land with the AWP as well. It's going to be 3 kills for the support player. Great work by him, as Furlan will pull one back, but Paz right beneath him, hot on his heels. As the bomb is now down, it's still advantage, and Paz will be encroaching towards that connector, but not for long. Fur takes him down, maybe a little bit overzealous here from Space Soldiers.
Engine just gonna hold it out, sitting on number 9 as he wraps around, but what a shot back from Furlan. Chance to hold this, but look at the Molotov. Let him burn, boys. Always off it. Burned, in fact, immediately because Furlan was tagged in the initial fight. And Major just pushes to see if he can take down all the weapons. PHR wants to get away with an AK, wants to upgrade it to an op, and that costs him greed. Greed, Henry. It'll get you every time.
So he gets nothing. You are right. He could have got out of an M4, but wanted the AWP. Quite smart from old Zantares there to actually commit to that push. It was quite a scary prospect, all things considered, but Engine, that was also scary. Fantastic work as we get to round number 20. Another partial buy from AGO. They're desperately trying to avoid match point here. Remember, it's a best of 1 with 2 separate maps. So it's the first matchup this evening. AGO Space Soldiers, they have another map to play after this one. This is looking very likely to be going in the favor of Space Soldiers, I'm afraid. AGO fans might have to stay on tenterhooks a little bit longer, as they're currently bottom of the Pro League charts, 14th place, and that's still instant relegation these days.
Groovy trying to swing it back again with the CZ. Does at least get one onto Calyx. But Engine pulls him back right away, and now it's Paz's turn from heaven. They're so preoccupied in that direction with pistols to hold off a single choke point that Paz was able to walk out from him and get all the way down and into the site. They've got lots of ground to work with as a result, and Zontaras will be sent on the prowl.
Yeah, he's picked up the scent as well of the snipe on the other side. Doesn't look like it's going to be working out just yet, but there it is. Paz and Engine to presumably close things out. Caper with now Krieg, actually. Might have a slight chance here, but no kits. Just the Molotov. Going to see what he can do here. Maybe just hold on to the weapon, but now it's going to take 10 rounds in a row to take us to overtime. I won't say that's impossible, but it's not looking good. Not sure he's been spotted. He's definitely given it a go. Find no one at all. Paz with a few seconds to respond, considering the aim wasn't quite there on the scope. We've got match point, though. AWP's coming out. Need to win every single round at this point. So remember, in Pro League, if you win in overtime, you actually only get 1 point these days. So
that's right.
For AGO, even to come back and win in overtime, it's not going to do that much for them in last place, but they're still going to fight back the best they can.
They'll give it a go.
2 points for a victory in overtime.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I was gonna say 2
and you
points.
Get 1 for a defeat.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you get a point just for making it to overtime, but you get 2 for the victory. So it's a tiered system, 3, 2, 1, 0, depending on how you win and how you lose. So Caper inside of the B site. Smoke already down on the ramp, and that will dissuade oncoming attackers. In fact, they will spread out again and go back toward to even consider pop dog position. Being held off. Someone could flank it. Let's keep an eye on it. Maybe even go evaluate back out toward the A-bomb site. Seems like there's some interest in doing so because they've rotated 3 players down now through the bathrooms. Kirby tries to spray in toward the top of the stairs. A little bit late to do so, however. So doesn't catch anyone in transition at that position.
Well then. Still going to be the 5-on-5. Space Soldiers looking to close this one out early. I feel like they could do it with the inside play here, but there are 2 CTs. I've got to overcome them first, one of which is Spiro, who's playing at the upper ramp with the AWP. So, Caper to defend with him. Flashbang pretty effective initially, and there it is, a great shot as well. Oh, Spiro not getting lucky with the timings here. Everywhere he's looking, they've already made their way past. He'll scope up, he's not looking in the right position, but the flick is there, taking at least 1 down. Zantara is the absolute beast of the server, is looking very good right now, but Spiro starts to find some form just when they need him, when they're hunting for overtime.
Yeah, that's fair play. They get another round on the board, so we go 15-6. Unfortunately, round differences don't matter in Pro League. It's all about the points. So they got a long way to go still for it to have any effect, as it would be 9 to get us to overtime. Stranger things have happened. I didn't know a thing about that TV show, by the way, but you were into it, weren't you?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Latest season was underwhelming, I would say, but
that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that.
It is what it is. That's round 22. We'll see Furlough opening things up, but this is the problem. Like, you can see now the pressure's kind of off per se. Now they can't win the game. It seems like they're playing a lot more confidence and just throwing caution to the wind. As they do manage to find the first pick. That's Calyx going down. There's still a lot of work to do here. This would at least break down the economy of Space Soldiers. We'll see. Zantaros is boosting up above that smoke, looking for any out of position CTs. I'm not sure he still has the same vision with that deeper smoke thrown. Damage done to Spiro and Furlan, but nothing really to write home about. They're still going to go for a slow default here with Engine at the end of Ivy.
Torres, Paz on Torres again. Spiro's going to rotate it all the way around, takes the AWP. He's going to have to be perfect, him and Caper. Caper's got the M4. Spiro misses a shot on the AWP. That makes matters worse because not only did he not get anything for revealing his position, but they now are all staring him down as Santaris finds one. Caper does slide in, but attention turned his direction. It's 16-6 in favor of the X-Space Soldiers. Perhaps now they can be the Galaxy Pirates as they sail through the universe.
The universe,
and
there you go.
I had to think of another space word. And win the game, Hank. That was pretty impressive, to be fair. That was pretty dominant performance.
Yeah, AGO drowning in the black hole of skill. It looks like Space Soldiers look way too comfortable there. 10-5 first half and then pulling it right back and looking very confident at T-side. That final round especially, just looking individually better than AGO.
Well, with that, we take our first break of the evening. 5 more maps coming up tonight on Pro League. It is the penultimate nights, and there's a lot to be played for.
Incendiary out.